Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind, and welcome to the session. Good evening, Shaheen. Good evening, everyone. So, first of all, welcome to the session. And like in today's session, we are also going to have some announcement with respect to the current affairs. So that I will tell you at the end of the session. Now, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so let's see. In today's session, the topics which we are going to discuss, like today we will have multiple question revision from the last 1 month. From the month of January, we will be revising some questions. Around 10 to 12 questions we will be practicing in today's session. 6 questions from this previous months and around 5 to 6 questions from environment and science also. So we are going to discuss some revision questions in today's session. Apart from this, there is one very much important article today in the newspaper, and that is with respect to governor. Okay. So in today's newspaper, there was nothing much more significant. Okay. Generally, we'll find that on Friday, there is almost like there's very few news articles there. Generally, Monday you get a number of articles, or sometimes on Tuesday, Wednesday you get a number of articles. But today we are having a few articles. One is power of governor to withhold assent, Chabahar port, and Samudrayaan. So these are 3 topics which we are going to see in today's session. Plus we will see multiple questions for practice. That is one thing which we are going to do in today's session. Okay. So let's start first with the practice, and then we will come to this one topic which is related to your GS paper 2. Okay. Now there may be a significant debate around this topic in upcoming days. Maybe you will find that there may be some judgment of Supreme Court also in this regard, and maybe if everything goes like that, maybe we will have some change here with respect to this governor's power to withhold assent to any bill. Okay. So let us see that questions first. Now this is the first question, question number 1. Which of the following are objectives of PSLV orbital experimental module? First is providing a platform for performing orbital experiment, putting objects in orbit for building Bharatiya Antariksh Station, and reducing the amount of debris in space. Why transgenders are not given any? Transgenders को कोई work क्यों नहीं देते? Why they doing begging? Dekho, there are multiple reasons. Okay, we will talk about this. First, let us see some questions, and after these 5 to 6 questions, we will talk about this issue. Okay. Okay, 3 answers as option C. PSLV orbital experimental module. Okay, so I think most of the people are going for option C. C is all of the 3. Okay. See, if we look at this, providing a platform for performing orbital experiment, that is true. PSLV orbital experimental module will provide this option. To perform the orbital experiment. So that one is true. Second is putting objects in orbit for building Bharatiya Antariksh Station. This has no linkage with PSLV. That is a different thing. A space docking experiment, that also is showing the technology. That also is basically a technology demonstration. Here the statement is saying putting objects in orbit for building Bharatiya Antariksh Station. There is no relation of this PSLV orbital experimental module with building Bharatiya Antariksh Station. It is for performing the orbital experiments, not putting something in space for Bharatiya Antariksh Station. So second statement has no linkage. That reducing the amount of debris in space, yes, that is one of the aim. that when we are using the last stage of PSLV engine as the orbital module, so we reduce the debris, we bring it downward, we reduce the debris. So 1 and 3 are correct. Answer here will be option B, only 2. The answer here will be option B, that is only 2 here. Okay. Coming to the next question, which of the following can be done with the help of PSLV? Launching a satellite in geotransfer orbit, launching a satellite in sun synchronous, launching a satellite in low Earth orbit. Question number 2. Question number 2. Which of the following can be done with the help of PSLV? Okay, one answer is option B from Avnish. Disha is saying, question number 1B, okay. Question number 2, option C. C option again. I think again people are going for option C. Okay, B option also. Okay, fine. See, remember one thing, with the help of the PSLV, we have been able to do all of these things. Launching a satellite in geotransfer orbit, yes, it can be done. In a sun synchronous, yes, and even in low Earth orbit. Sun synchronous is basically the polar orbit or the low Earth orbit only. So that is very much simple. It is mostly done using PSLV only. Low Earth orbit, again PSLV. Even load up to 1450 kg can be put into geotransfer orbit. So all these 3 statements are correct. Answer will be option C. Sun synchronous orbit is not around the sun. Sun synchronous orbit is in a low Earth orbit around the Earth, which follows the movement of the sun. So sun synchronous orbit is not the orbit which is like moving around the sun. Sun synchronous orbit is a low Earth orbit which is orbiting from poles to poles mostly, or it is following the movement of the sun. So these 3 options are correct. Answer will be all 3. Question number 3. Which of the following pair is not correctly matched? Dead Sea, Jordan, Caspian Sea, Turkmenistan, Aral Sea, Russia, and Lake Balkhash, Kazakhstan. Which of them are not correct? It is obviously this. See, Avnish, for this PSLV, the main target is low Earth orbit. The main target of PSLV is low Earth orbit and sun synchronous. Sometimes it is used for geotransfer orbit, but the main target of PSLV is for launching the satellites in low Earth orbit. मैं confuse करता हूँ. I checked the confidence, that's why. 3, again option C. Three, option D, option B, option C. What will be the correct answer here? Which of the following pair is not correctly matched? Okay. I'm just checking your confidence. That's why of course here the Aral Sea is correct answer. Aral Sea is not there in Russia. Aral Sea is between which two? Okay. Yes, it is Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. So here we have this Aral Sea. It is not in Russia. Okay. So here the answer will be option C. Consider the following statement with respect to Bharat Pole. It has been developed by DRDO. This is question number 4. It has been developed by DRDO. It will connect all law enforcement agencies of India. Indian law enforcement agencies will be able to issue red corner notices using this portal. How many statements given above are correct? Yes, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, that is correct. Question number 4. Now, what will be the answer here? First is saying it has been developed by DRDO. Second says it will connect all law enforcement agencies of India. Third is saying Indian law enforcement agencies will be able to issue red corner notices using this portal. USSR याद था. Question number 4. Option A also, option B also. See, if we look at this question, it has been developed by DRDO. That is incorrect. CBI has developed it. Central Bureau of Investigation. It has developed this. So this one is incorrect. Second is correct, that it will connect all law enforcement agencies of India. So that second option is correct. Third is saying Indian law enforcement agencies will be able to issue red corner notices. No, there is no such provision. They will be able to view about any such fugitive or any such person. They will be able to get the information, but there is nothing like that Indian agencies will be able to issue red corner notice against anyone. Red corner notice is issued by Interpol, not native agencies or native police. Okay. So this third option is incorrect. Answer here will be option 1, only one. Okay. So only second statement is correct. First and third are incorrect. Question number 5. Consider the following statement with respect to National Board for Wildlife. It has been established under provisions of Environment Protection Act 1986. PM acts as the chairperson of National Board for Wildlife. Approval from National Board for Wildlife is mandatory for any project execution within a national park. How many statements given above are correct? Question number 5. Question number 5. Okay, one answer as B. I think for this question, everyone is going for option B. Pratibha is saying option C. Ritu is saying option A. A option. See, the first one is saying it has been established under provisions of Environment Protection Act 1986. It is wrong. It is Wildlife Protection Act 1972. So this one is incorrect. PM acts as the chairperson of National Board for Wildlife. That is correct. Approval from NBWL is mandatory for any project execution within a national park. That is also true. You cannot execute a project near this national park without the approval from NBWL. Okay, so approval is mandatory. Approval is mandatory. So both 2 and 3 are correct. Here the answer will be option B. So in this case, approval from NBWL is mandatory for any project execution near the national park. It is compulsory. Okay. So answer will be 2 and 3, that is B option. Now, one more question, one last question. Chromosomes appear during cell division instead of chromatin. Second is saying chromosomes can be easily aligned and separated during mitosis or meiosis. So this is one easy question at the end. Question number 6. This is question number 6. Chromosomes appear during cell division instead of chromatin. Chromosomes can be easily aligned and separated during mitosis or meiosis. Option A. So yes, I think everyone knows this answer. Everyone knows this answer. This will be option A. That will be the correct one. Both A and R are correct and R explains A. So how many of your answers have been correct out of 6? How many of your answers were correct out of 6? These are the topics which we have read in the past. We have also solved the same questions in the past. How much you have been able to retain? 5 by 6. Good. See, three by 6. See, remember what I am trying to say here. See, on daily basis, we are solving around 6 questions. 6 into almost 20 days classes. So we are having 120 questions per month. Okay. We are having 120 questions per month. If you just go by that, if you just go by those questions, if you revise them also from time to time, your current affairs will be like majority of the portions of your current affairs will be done from there itself. Okay. Like we are doing science special, current affairs also, environment also. Okay. And then we are having daily questions. So per month we are having questions right now of around 100 plus questions we are discussing per month. So if you just go by that, you are going in a positive direction, like you are learning new topics, that too with the help of questions. So keep on revising these topics from time to time. Try to write them somewhere, try to revise them as many times as possible. Okay. So from time to time we will have this revision part. Okay. Like one day, from next week I will try this, that on one day, whenever the news articles are lesser in number, so on that day we will have a revision of the previous questions so that you can revise those topics also. Okay. Now, let's, there was one question with respect to transgenders. There was this one question with respect to transgenders, that why they do not get the work. Why no one hires them? See, normally what you will find that like when we are looking at the transgenders in Indian society, it is not only about the work, it is also about their acceptance in the mainstream. Okay. Normally what we see that if we talk about the society, okay, the society consider them to be a different person, or they consider them to be different or abnormal. Okay. They consider them, the society considers them as different or abnormal. So that is one of the major challenge in our society. Society doesn't consider them as a equal human being. That is the major challenge. When the society accepts transgenders as any other normal human being, then each and everything will be settled. Okay. Plus, there are so many regional, or you can say that traditional customs which are prevailing in India, and it is so much deep rooted that it is very much difficult to get rid of it or to remove it completely from the society. In some of the metro cities, still there is some acceptability, but in the rural areas, in the smaller towns, there is no such acceptability of those people who belong to transgender community. Okay. So that main thing is this society, they consider them as abnormal or different. They do not look at them as the same human being. So that is why this challenge exists. Plus, you will also find that even in schools or colleges or training institutions, they have not been given such equal preference or equal weightage. Okay. If suppose that if you are reading in a school or a college, the transgenders are a significant portion of our society, but still you will find that their presence in college or institutions or any other places is negligible. We hardly find anyone or hardly see anyone, especially in the smaller towns or cities. Even if there are people who may be having transgender orientation, they do not easily come out. They do not easily come out. The simple reason is they know that society may not be able to accept it. Society may not be ready for this. So that is one of the challenge. Okay. Okay. National Park, Biosphere Reserve, Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, I will. Why society did not accept them? Yes, Harshita, like I am doing all the current affairs, whichever is there, I am doing all of them. Okay. And Ayush, okay, I will discuss this in the next session. I will definitely discuss it, or at the end of the session, if time is there, then we will discuss this national park, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserve also. Okay. Why they are not accepting it? There is a simple reason. We have our own traditional mindset. Okay. Like for example, just for example, there is an institution of marriage in India. Okay. So normally, if we look at this institution of marriage, it is just like this. If someone is getting married, it's fine. If someone is not getting married, then people have a lot of questions. First thing is, there may be a question that, or there may be an allegation that there may be some problem with the person, or there can be a number of issues with respect to marriage. As someone is crossing 25, 28, 30 years of age, a lot of people start asking the same question, that when are you going to get married? Now for transgender people, if they want to get married, now society suddenly turns back, says that no, marriage is not allowed for transgenders. Marriage can only be between one man and a woman. It cannot be between two men or two women, or means any other person. Okay. So that is one thing. Like normally our society is very much worried that two people should, or one male or a female should get married by 25, 26. Earlier it was like, if you are 20 years of age, why are you still not married? Now still it is like 25, 28, 30. By the time you reach 30, if you are not married, people start asking you a number of questions why you are not getting married. Okay. And while if the transgenders wants to marry among themselves, then society says that no, it is not allowed for you. So society has a double face there. Yeah. They're asking you to get married. From where they get source of income? See, there is very challenging issues for transgenders. They do not have any such definite source of income. Like many a times when there are when the family knows that someone is transgender in their family, their own mother or father, they oust the members from the family. They ask them to go somewhere else due to social pressure or societal pressure. They ask them to move somewhere else. They are often not given any part of the property or share. So that's why they are going for begging or all. That becomes a challenge for transgenders. Normally, suppose that if anyone is even hiring transgender for some work, like suppose that in any societies or at any place, if someone is hiring transgenders for any such household work, then also society will start asking a number of questions that why you are hiring transgenders and others. So of course there is a very deep rooted challenge in our society with respect to the transgenders. Okay. Now let us start our topic. The first topic is that of governor. So see, what is the matter? The matter is with respect to Tamil Nadu. The context is there that the governor of Tamil Nadu, okay, governor of Tamil Nadu versus the state of Tamil Nadu, or CM of Tamil Nadu, CM, or you can say that Council of Minister of Tamil Nadu. Okay. So there is an elected government and then there is governor. So what has happened that Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly, the Legislative Assembly of Tamil Nadu, it has passed 12 bills. It has passed 12 bills which has been sent to the governor. Okay. Which has been sent to governor. Now, governor has not refused to give consent to the bill. Neither it has asked the House for reconsideration. It has not returned, the governor has not returned the bill for reconsideration. Government has not even refused to give consent to the bill or reject the bill. So governor has neither rejected the bill, not given assent to the bill, not even returned to the house. So what the governor has done? He has been withholding the bill for more than 3 years. There have been 12 bills which has been passed by the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly, which has been withheld by the Tamil Nadu governor for almost 3 years. Now, what happened then? That the Legislative Assembly of Tamil Nadu again passed the same bill with a different name through a special session and sent it to the governor. Now, in that case, governor again did one thing. He transferred a few bills to the president, rejected one of the bill, and other bills were still put on hold. So what is happening? That governor is using this power to withhold consent. Okay. Withhold consent means neither saying yes nor saying no nor returning the bill. And you know that in case of India, there is no such limit on the pocket veto. This is what we call as pocket veto. This is what we call as pocket veto. Okay. So now the Tamil Nadu government approached the Supreme Court. Tamil Nadu government has approached the Supreme Court, and in that regard, the Supreme Court has asked the Tamil Nadu governor that why you have not given assent to the bill? What was so much gross about that bill? Like, what was the bad thing about the bill? What was the reason for withholding the consent? Okay. So that is a development which is going on. Maybe in upcoming times, we will see some more judgments or some order of the Supreme Court with respect to this. Okay. Maybe we will see some order from the Supreme Court with respect to this. But right now, this is the case which is developing. It is under the judiciary right now. So maybe in future, we will get to know more once the Supreme Court is giving some judgment. Okay. Now, if we talk about the governor, so what is the condition? Okay. Suppose that if a bill is given, if a bill is presented to the governor, either he can give consent, second thing, he can reject the bill. He can give the consent, he can reject the bill. Okay. Or not reject, he can return the bill. Or third thing is, he can withhold the consent. Withhold consent. Okay. So three things can be done. Okay. He can either give his assent to the bill, then he can also return the bill or withstand the consent. In normal cases, in most of the normal cases, these three options are there. Okay. Now, if he gives the consent, work is over. If he returns the bill and if Legislative Assembly sends the bill again, then consent. Okay. If they return the bill and if Legislative Assembly is passing that bill again, so he will have to give the consent, he will have to give this assent to the bill. Okay. Now, you can write it as assent also. Instead of consent, we can write it assent. Okay. Now, if we talk here, there is also another part. Reserve the bill. Reserve the bill for precedent. Reserve the bill for precedent. That is the fourth option. Okay. That is the fourth option. Now, this option is also misused. There is misuse of these two options, 3 and 4. Withholding consent. Now, suppose that if a governor has withheld consent, then the elected government cannot do anything. The Legislative Assembly cannot do anything. You cannot force the governor to sign something. Same goes with president also. If president is withholding some assent to a bill, the council of minister cannot force the president to sign something. So withholding the assent is the power of or imperative of governor also, president also. Now, so this is one part, withholding consent and reserve the bill for president. Now this reservation of bill, what is the condition? In what condition it can be reserved? In what condition the governor can reserve the bill for the president? Is there any such special case? So there is one mandatory thing. There is one mandatory. Okay. There is one thing which is mandatory for the governor. All others are like going under the discretionary power, but there is one mandatory provision for which governor has to reserve the bill for the president. And what is that mandatory thing? If a bill seeks to reduce power of High Court. If there is a bill which seeks to reduce the power of High Court, then in that case it is obligatory, it is mandatory on the governor to to reserve that bill for the president. Okay. So that is mandatory for him. But there are other things also. Okay. There are other options also. Okay. So if there is a bill which is against constitution, if there is a bill which goes against the constitution, then there is this discretion of the governor, he can reserve it for the president. Okay. If it is opposed to directive principles, if there is a bill which is opposed to directive principles of state policy, so there again governor can reserve that bill for the president. Okay. If there is anything which is against the interest of country, against the interest of country, like suppose that if there is a state which passes a bill that from tomorrow onwards no one can come to a particular state, like suppose tomorrow let us say that any state XYZ, there is a state, let us say that it passes a bill that from tomorrow onwards no other people from any other Indian state can come to this area. Okay. Or they pass any such bill which is harming the other states or India as a whole. So then again that bill can be reserved. Okay. Then again, if there is something of national importance, okay, if there is something of national importance, now suppose that India has said that we will not be, let us say tomorrow India decides that we will not be providing subsidy in agriculture. Let us say that tomorrow India agrees with WTO provisions that we will not be providing subsidies on agriculture. But if there is a state government which says that no, we will not obey the WTO rules, even if India is a signatory to this, we are not going to be part of it, we will provide subsidies. So those type of bill can also be reserved by the governor, but that is in his discretion. It is not mandatory. Mandatory is only this part. Okay. Then also, if there is something which relates to acquisition of property, under Article 31A. Okay, like right to property provision is there. So under that, if there is an acquisition of property by the state government, or if there is a bill with respect to that, so that also can be changed, that also can be reserved by the governor. So governor is having these options, these four options. He can either give the assent, return the bill, or withhold the assent. 3 options plus 4, reserve the bill for president. Now, normally these two options are there which are abused by the governors from time to time. Okay. See, the thing is, reserving the bill for president, it has one mandatory thing, but all other things are discretionary in nature. Okay. All other things are discretionary in nature. That's why what we see that the discretionary power of the governor is much more larger than the president. Okay. So this becomes an issue between the state and the union. You know that in India, the governor of the state is appointed solely by the union government. And normally what we see that many a times there has been cases when governor of any state is acting on the directions of union government, and sometimes it is heavily influencing the policy making at a state level. Okay. So that's why it has been a contentious issue from time to time. Right now, this case is there in Supreme Court. So maybe in upcoming time, if there is some judgment from about this from Supreme Court, we will see again this topic. Okay. I hope it is clear. Can president reject the bill sent by governor? Yes, president can reject. So right to property has been there as part of Article 300A, it is there. But then earlier right to property was also as part of fundamental right. Okay. Now you know that fundamental right has been changed. Okay. Okay. That part has been changed. It has been transferred to the this legal right. Okay. But this in the beginning of the constitution, there was this provision that the various laws with respect to land and all or acquiring of assets, they were being placed under this special 9th schedule and all. So in that respect it was there. Right now it is not exercised very much. Mainly the first 4 options are there. Okay. So right now what you have to see, you have to just see that in what conditions. See, normally from here you can get this option that what are the options available to the governor if the bill is presented to the governor. What are the options which are available to him? Okay. You can write like they will not be asking you that which constitution is dealing with right to property. Okay. Article 31 is right now basically protecting those laws which have been put under this 9th schedule. Okay. Now, coming to the next topic, that is Chabahar port. Okay. So what is the context here? What is the context here? So US president is still going on in the same manner. He is signing this sanction, that sanction. In that case, there is also this cancellation of waiver which was given earlier to India in case of Chabahar port. Okay. So US has cancelled waiver for Chabahar port. Chabahar port. Okay. So what is the condition here? Just try to understand this part. In the last presidency of Donald Trump, he started to surround Iran from all sides. He started to pressurize Iran from all sides. And in that, one of the major provision was cutting its relation with all other countries. Now, you know that India was having a significant relations with Iran in the past. Okay. Right now also we are having relations. In 2015 itself, India announced the Chabahar port, that we will have this Chabahar port in Iran. Okay. And now in that context, in 2019, there was a discussion between India and USA, and USA said that, okay, fine, we will give you waiver for the Chabahar port. You can continue the development at Chabahar port, but then you will have to reduce the export of oil from Iran. There are so many Indian oil refineries based in Iran. They were also exporting the oil to other countries. Okay. Now, the provision was that we have to reduce or bring it to zero any export from Iran to other countries. Okay. Export of oil by Indian refineries from Iran to other countries. So that was supposed to be reduced to zero. Okay. So that India agreed for this. India agreed for this, and in exchange, India was given this waiver on Chabahar that you can have development of the Chabahar port, and we will not put any sanctions on it. Now, what has been done, that US has cancelled this waiver for Chabahar port. That does not mean that there is a sanction on this. It simply means that US may put sanctions on this in the future. It doesn't automatically means that US is putting some sanctions on India, but it provides them an opportunity. It provides them an opportunity, an option to put sanctions. Okay. So it's not that they are putting sanctions immediately. It's not that they are putting sanctions immediately. But in the past, there was a guarantee that no matter whatever your deal is going on with Iran with respect to Chabahar, we will not interfere in that. Now they have said that we may interfere. We may interfere in the future. Okay. So that is one thing which has happened with respect to Chabahar port and India-Iran relations and US-Iran relations. Okay. Now, if you look at this location is very much important because this is our Chabahar port and here we are having Gwadar port. So this Chabahar port is having so much significance for us. Okay. It is having a very much important significance for us. First thing is security. Sorry, not go to security. Let us start with energy. Energy security. Okay. We will have a energy security because if we are developing this Chabahar port here, from this portion we can import the oil to Mumbai or other places. So we will get this continuous supply of oil using this port. Right now again, just near here we have another port that is called as Bandar Abbas. This port is already there. We are doing trade with this port also. But we have invested near about $120 million. Okay, $120 million. $120 million for development of this port in Chabahar. We have even developed a terminal there through which our trade can go. So first thing is our energy security is very much crucial with respect to this Chabahar port. Okay. Then second important thing is connectivity. Second important part is connectivity. This Chabahar port can provide us route to Afghanistan. Here it can give us connectivity to Central Asia. It can provide us connectivity to Europe and even to Russia. So that was the connectivity part which we were getting from here. Then strategic significance. Then we will also have this strategic significance. It was located just near this Gwadar port. Gwadar port. And this Gwadar port is part of Pakistan, but here what we see that there is presence of China. There is presence of China. Okay. There is presence of this China also at Gwadar port. So our presence at this Chabahar port was giving us this edge or giving us this strategic importance. Okay. And above all these things, There is also one part, the most important part here. Okay. Fourth one is strategic autonomy. Strategic autonomy. How any other country of the world will dictate us what we should be do, with which country we should be having our relations, and with which country we should not be having our relations. So Chabahar port was basically a matter of pride for India also, that yes, we can have relations with Iran while simultaneously having relations with United States. But as you know that United States has got once again Donald Trump, and the world is wishing for the next 4 years, that what will happen in the next 4 years. Okay. So that is one of the challenges for India also. Strategic autonomy of India is also at stake because of the US decisions in this region. Okay. So that is the significance of this Chabahar port. Okay. Waiver, yes, waiver is simply like they are giving you this option that okay, even if you are doing a trade, we will not be stopping you, we will not be like, we are giving you immunity, we will not be asking you any question. That is waiver. Okay. What is sanction? How this will work? How this works? Why only developed economy imposes it? Why not developing countries? Okay. See, basically the thing is, the developed nations, not all the developed nations, what we see that generally US is the one imposing the sanctions. All other Western countries are doing simply what US says. Okay. There is no any other Western countries which can say anything against United States. United States has pulled out of Paris Treaty. United States has pulled out of WHO. It has pulled out of most of the things which are needed for the globe right now. But no Western countries can say anything, even if it is harming the climate. So basically there is no Western country, there is only United States. Okay. And sometimes United States gets crazy precedents. So in that situation, of course, things like this happen. And US is like trying to exert its superiority. Right now, US economy or US as a whole is threatened by rise of other countries, including India, including China. So they feel threatened that their superiority, their power is now getting challenged. There are other countries who are rising. They are influencing the global policies. So right now US is going in that mode that they want to have like reinforcement of their superiority. It is continuously getting challenged. That's why they keep on saying this, that we will impose sanctions and all. And yes, why not developing countries? Developing countries have not been able to form a major bloc. If they are able to form a major bloc, they will be able to put sanctions on Western countries also. Western countries depend on developing economies for their goods and services. So Western economies are, or Western developed countries, they have a very little population. It is not creating that much demand. They depend on developing nations. But since developing nations do not have any such strong blocks or strong groupings, they are not able to come together. Hence, Western world still dominates. Okay. Now, in India also, what we see that some people are very much happy about like how Donald Trump is taking actions, how Donald Trump is doing this or that, how Donald Trump is controlling Palestine or Iran or other things. They are not seeing this part, that when in case of Syria, when the previous government was there, we were having a good relations. When we talk about Iran, Iran is one of our friends from the past also. Iran is the one country which has been providing us oil at a lower cost. Iran and India are having a very good relations. Okay. So while people are appreciating that what Trump is doing, they don't know that how it is going to impact India indirectly also. We depend on a number of countries. We have good relations with many of these countries. So we cannot be simply saying that since he is making all the news, he is getting all the headlines and everything, so he is doing good. Okay. The way he has ousted from World Health Organization, other things. US has built its economy on the cost of other developing nations. Now they have got huge money and everything. Now they are saying that we will not support any developmental agencies or any other thing. So that is absurdity of United States. Nothing else. Absurdity of United States. Okay. Now let's come to the third topic. Samudrayaan. Okay. So if we talk about Samudrayaan, so recently there was this announcement that in 2026 we are going to have our Samudrayaan, and in 2027 we will have Chandrayaan 4. That was the recent announcement. 2026 we are going to have Samudrayaan. Okay. Earlier it was planned for 2025 itself. Before that it was planned for 2024 also. But right now it is going to be there in 2026. Okay. So what is there? In case of Samudrayaan, what we will be doing? Basically there is development of this one vessel. This vessel is called as Matsya 6000. Okay. So it will be also sending 3 humans. Okay. It will be sending 3 humans to a depth, okay, of around 6 kilometers. Okay. It will be sending 3 humans to a depth of 6 kilometers. Okay. So that is the aim here. How and what we are going to do? We are going to just explore deep sea resources and biodiversity assessment, that how much resource is there at the bottom of the oceans, and also what is the biodiversity there. So this is one of the main aim, exploring deep sea resources and biodiversity. Okay. This Matsyayaan or this Matsya 6000, it will have an endurance of 12 hours in general. Okay. This operation will be of 12 hours, and in extreme cases it can go up to 96 hours. So it will be like a mission of 12 hours. In that 12 hours it will go into the bottom of the sea. It will be like performing various experiments, assessing various things at the bottom of the oceans, and then it will be brought back to the sea. It will be brought back to the ocean surface. Okay. So that is our Samudrayaan mission, which we are planning to launch in 2026. Okay. Now the government has said that it will be finally launched in 2026. So that is also one thing, like we have been waiting for some time now. Okay. We have been waiting for some time now. It has been more than 3-4 years, 2024, 25, 26. But yes, of course, the people who will be going there, their life matters first. Okay. Because going inside the sea or going in the space, or going inside the sea is one of the most riskiest job. It is one of the most riskiest job. Bringing people back from there is a major challenge. Since we are doing it for the first time, we have to be taking extra caution in everything. Okay. So this is one thing which is being developed by National Institute of Ocean Technology. Okay. National Institute of Ocean Technology, it is doing this mission. So they will be doing this mission. It was basically having a timeline of 5 years. Okay. It was having a timeline of 2021 to 26. Okay. So it was having this timeline of 5 years. Okay. Not developed by DRDO. Okay. This National Institute of Ocean Technology had developed this Matsya 6000. First unique manned ocean mission of India. Yes. No. In the oceans, there have been previous missions also. In the oceans, there have been previous missions also, but in the Indian Ocean region, you can say that it will be the first mission. Okay. National Institute of Ocean Technology, that has developed this mission. I hope it is clear. So that is another small topic for the day. In today's newspaper, there was lack of any topic which was relevant for your exam. Okay. So these were 3 topics. Now, coming to the questions. So we are again having some practice revision questions. We are having some revision questions from past, no new questions today. So let's see how many of you have revised those questions. First one, consider the following statement with respect to Bose-Einstein condensate. The particles in this state are super excited. The state is achieved at extremely low temperature. In this state, particles of matter behave as one single atom. Under Ministry of Earth Sciences. Under Ministry of Earth Sciences. Correct. So Bose-Einstein condensate. Discuss genders in some class. Okay. There is one announcement also. We will, after this one question, we will talk about one important thing. I have to talk to you about this one important thing. But first, give me the answer for this one. Okay, A also, B also, A and B. See, the first thing is particles in this state are super excited. That is incorrect. The particles have lowest energy in this state. The particles in this state are having the lowest energy. So this is incorrect. The state is achieved at extremely low temperature. That is correct. In this state, particles of matter behave as one single atom. That is also correct. Yes, answer will be option B. That is only 2. Okay. So here the answer will be option B. That is only 2. Okay. So Bose-Einstein condensate, what you will find that the particles of matter start behaving as one single large atom. Okay. Because all of them reach at the same state of energy. So they start behaving like one single large atom. Okay. Now, before we go to the second question, there is one thing. Okay. See, there is one thing which I want to discuss with you. We are having this current affair classes right now from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Okay. Now, there is one such thing. You know that BPSC Prelims exam has released its result also. BPSC result has been announced. There are many students who are preparing for the mains exam also. And their exam may also be like conducted very soon. Okay. So there is one thing, like for 1 week, I have to take some sessions. Okay. I have to take sessions of BPSC mains answer writing. Okay. I have to take this session of BPSC mains answer writing. Okay. And this one is going to be conducted in offline mode. Okay. This is going to be conducted in offline mode. Okay. And after a lot of discussion, like after seeing all the aspects, what I can see that for this answer writing session, I have got just this one option of conducting it from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30. Okay. So I have to take this classes just for 1 week. Just for 1 week, I am taking this classes. Okay. So in the next week, this class is scheduled from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Okay. Now, we know that our current affair class is also from 5 to 6 p.m. So for just 1 week, can we do it from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.? For just 1 week, can we schedule this current affair classes from 8 to 9 p.m.? Like just for 1 week, because you know that the students of BPSC, they are also having very less amount of time. They also have to prepare for it. And I have to just take the sessions for 1 week. So I'm requesting all of you on the behalf of these students, can we do that? Okay. So for 1 week, just for this 1 week, if you all agree. Okay. Okay, so for the next week, that is from like Monday to Friday next week, we will be having this class at 8 to 9 p.m. Okay, we will have this class from 8 to 9 p.m. Okay, so and again after that we will come back to our original time of 5 to 6 p.m. I had one another option that I could take classes in the morning also, but you know that in the morning classes are already going on. From 8 to 10 we have classes from Monday to Saturday. So that 8 to 10 a.m. slot of morning was also not there. So I have no other options than going for this option 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the evening. Okay. So for 1 week, just bear with this. Okay. Just bear with this for 1 week, and then after we will come back to the original time at this 5 to 6 p.m. Okay. Now let us see some other questions. Thank you everyone. Let us see some more questions for today. First one is, which of the following is a feature of One Day One Genome initiative? Okay. This is also one question. Which of the following is a feature of One Day One Genome initiative? Genome sequencing of bacterial species isolated in India, sequencing of animal DNA for evolutionary studies, sequencing plant DNA for improving horticulture practices, and sequencing viral genomes for pandemic prevention. So this is an initiative of Department of Biotechnology. Yes, Harshit, we will have it after that week, after the next week, we will have from 5 to 6 p.m. only. Okay. Yes, I think everyone knows this part. We have discussed this. This is an initiative of Department of Biotechnology. This is an initiative of Department of Biotechnology, and in this, genome sequencing of bacterial species is being isolated in India. So per day we are trying to get, or in 1 year we will have like this genome sequencing of many of the bacteria which are unique to India. So that is being done under this One Day One Genome initiative. Okay. Now the third thing is, consider the following substances used in cloud seeding: silver iodide, potassium iodide, methane, and liquid propane. Which of the substances given above are used for cloud seeding? Which of the above substances are used for cloud seeding? We have discussed this question also in the past. No, I am not in Patna. Like this class will be in Karol Bagh Center. In Delhi, in Karol Bagh Center, this is going to take place like tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 9th of Feb. There will be orientation also, and then after, from 10th, I will be taking sessions for almost 1 week. Then after, all other faculties will also be taking sessions. Mentors are also there. So it is especially for BPSC. Okay. So B option 1, 2, and 4. So yes, I think all of you remember this. Silver iodide, potassium iodide, liquid propane. They can be used. So answer here will be option B, 1, 2, and 4. That is the correct answer. B option will be correct here. Okay. Okay, so that will be all for today. Let's meet in the next session then on Monday now. Okay. Yes, on Monday we will be meeting in the next session to discuss the current affairs at 8 p.m. Okay, 8 to 9 p.m. from Monday. And of course, the revision series in the next week, we are going to start with polity. Okay. So polity has already been completed in the crash course. Okay. So now we are starting with this practice of polity so that you can revise it also. When you are solving the questions, when you are revising it, then it will be there in your mind for a longer period of time. Okay. Yes, what was your question, Harshit? Please ask your question once again. What was your question? Harshit, can you please ask your question once again? Sir, MPPCS pre and main session, who will be taking? Harshit, I am not having any idea about this. In the next session, I will be able to tell you. I will also have to see it on the website because I'm not having idea about it. Okay, so just go through it once. On the website, you may get the idea, or on the YouTube channel, you may get the idea. But right now, I am not having this idea of which faculties will be taking classes there. Okay. National Park, Wildlife Sanctuaries, Biosphere Reserve. Okay. Final mark sheet. Final mark sheet of graduation. Even if you have not got the final mark sheet, then also you can upload the form. You can say that I am still pursuing it. You can write that option. I'm still pursuing it. My result has not been released. Okay. So you can choose that option. Or if any digital form of that mark sheet is also available, then you can use that also. If it is not available in physical form, the original form, if digital mark sheet is also there, you can use that also. Ayush, I will take this topic in the next class, National Park, Wildlife Sanctuaries and Biosphere Reserve. So next day I will explain it. Basically the difference is there in terms of the approach of conservation. There is difference between National Park and Wildlife Sanctuaries. Biosphere Reserve is very much different concept. So yes, we will talk that in the next session, that is on Monday. Okay, so I will explain that, don't worry. Okay, so thank you everyone. Let's meet on Monday then we will discuss the remaining topics: National Park at priority, National Park, Wildlife Sanctuaries and Biosphere Reserves. Thank you everyone. Take care and good night. Enjoy the weekends. Today is a very important day. It is the National Periodic Table Day. Okay, so today is National Periodic Table Day. Enjoy the periodic table which you have seen in your classes, and then enjoy the weekend. Thank you everyone. Take care.